We welcome you in to week 11 of the Ken Sparks Show. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Ken Sparks. The Eagles victorious on Senior Day, 27-7 over the Wingate Bulldogs. And Ken, really, final game of the season, put it all together. Complete victory. Offense works, defense works, and arguably your most dominating defensive performance of the season.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? We saved it to the last game and could have made coaches a whole lot more joyous if we'd got it done a little bit earlier. But we're glad to finish the year that way, because that was, I think it's a great compliment to our kids. It's a great compliment to our coaching staff, because I want to tell you, the defensive coaching staff have been relentless all year to try to get to that point to where we were yesterday. And so we're grateful for them. We're grateful for those kids. We're especially grateful for those 25 seniors who have been through a whole lot of ups and downs, mostly ups, I hope, but a lot of things that have gone on in our lives that have been personal crises, personal battlegrounds, have been crossroads in their lives, and to see hopefully them be prepared through all that to go win life now, you know, and real life, and go get where there's live bullets now, you know, and where things are very important to the way they make decisions. So we're glad that that we got a group that we can put our stamp on and say, these are our boys, these are our kids. And so good ending.
A great ending after such a frustrating season. Was it a little emotional watching it all come together so well this late in the year?
Well, I think the emotion that I felt was happy. I was happy. And just to see them realize, you know, some accomplishments that we've said all year we could do. And so, you know, that makes your presentations a little bit more realistic, a little bit more believable. Mm-hmm. When what you've said could happen actually happened.
Really, I mean, you talk about the laboratory of learning, great lessons for life, persevering through the end there.
No question, and you know, to come off the last 2 weeks that were about as hurtful as you could possibly get if you're an athlete or a coach, and to end up on one where you did some things differently and better than you'd done all year. Especially, I think, on the inside. I thought there was some inside stuff that really took place yesterday that was real encouraging to me.
We break down the first half, the Eagles' 27-7 victory over the Wingate Bulldogs when we come back after this on the Ken Sparks Show. Back on the Ken Sparks Show as the Eagles take a 27-7 victory over the Wingate Bulldogs. Ken, absolutely phenomenal first half, up 17-0 at the break, limit Wingate to only 56 yards of total offense in the first half, including a whopping 9 in the second quarter. Lone force 4 3-and-outs. What was the defense doing, really just to assert their will?
Well, I think we were playing hard, and we were I wouldn't be surprised. I hadn't had a chance to grade the video yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't our best grades of the year. Mm-hmm. And we did something a little bit different. We went with 2 full units, alternating series. And I think they challenged the dickens out of each other. I think they had a lot of fun with it in practice this week. And we decided to do that Monday. And, you know, we were, there was a lot of debate on that one. Mm-hmm. In the coaching room, and but I think the kids really enjoyed it. Now there was a few that probably would have liked to played more snaps, mm-hmm. but to alternate 4 units, 11 people, substitute 11 people every other series the first half, it created some. I think I learned something from it, and really? I think our coaches might have learned something from that, and. I mean, we'd been playing all of them anyway, most of all of them, mm-hmm. and so they just alternate by the units, and one of them were called the Titans, and the other one was called the Terminators. No, the Transformers, the Titans and the Transformers, and they had a lot of fun with it during the week, and so that was fun to be part of.
Now, I've been wondering this ever since you told me the names.
Who came up with them?
Who came up with them? That's question A. Question B is, were 80s cartoons the basis for this? Where did that come from?
The interesting thing is, every one of these kids have watched the Titans film over and over and over and over, and still watch it. And,
you're talking Remember the Titans.
Yeah, okay. Remember the Titans, the movie. Yeah, and then the Transformer. I mean, every movie now has got some kind of a Transformer in it. And so it don't have to be the actual movie Transformers. It can be everything's transformed now. And we had a transformed group Saturday, so good.
Way to loop that one all the way in. Kyler Fry.
Isn't that amazing?
What a senior day.
Isn't that amazing?
7 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, a couple of quarterback hurries where if Kyle Johnson for Wingate just doesn't make a play, he's going down for a loss of 10 yards or more. What about the job of him?
Well, he's 5'7", 165, 70 pounds. Mm-hmm. And those 6'6" and 6'7" guys, he was just going under. He was just tunneling under them. And they didn't have a clue where that rascal was coming from, and he was playing his heart out. And so, like you have to do when you weigh 170 pounds.
Pound for pound, strongest guy on the team. Said it all year long.
Amazing.
Take a look at the first half highlights. Eagles lead the Bulldogs at the break, 17-0.
2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs from their own 28-yard line. 4 wide set, trips go to the wide side right, and a lone man, the leading receiver, Barry, to the short side left. Johnson in the gun, Lantigua to his left, man in motion. Comes to the short side left, too. That's Barry. Shotgun snap back. It's thrown out to Barry, right sideline. Complete, but Kyler Fry timed it perfectly and scooped him up at the waist and dropped him for a loss of 1 back to the 28-yard line. 3rd and 3. Great stop by Fry.
Yeah, when Fry's been in the football game for Carson-Newman, he's been a difference maker.
The game has been a luxury of late for the Eagles. Haven't had one since the Tusculum matchup. Thomas takes the snap on 3rd and 3. The give is to Andy Hibbett. Jukes right, hops left, and Hibbett scoots into the end zone. Touchdown! Carson-Newman. Andy Hibbett, a shimmy right, a shake left, and he scoots for 6. 13-0 Carson-Newman with 12:14 left in the second quarter. The 36-yard field goal in danger of a third 3-and-out on the day with this 3rd and 2. From their own 28. Ball on the right hash. Johnson in the gun with Lantigua to his right. Johnson will keep it, reversing field to the left. Chased down by Kyler Fry in the boundary left side. Back at the 24. Kyler Fry having a day on senior day. Rips down Wingate's starting quarterback back at the 24 for a loss of 4 to force the 3rd 3-and-out of the first half for the Bulldogs.
Those are the first half highlights. The Eagles lead it at the break over the Wingate Bulldogs 17-0. Again, defense dominates in the first half, but some solid offensive moments too, especially the first drive really set the tone. Drive down, 12 plays, more than 70 yards for the opening score, and Randall Freeman gets into the end zone for the first time this season.
Yeah, and good to see some fruits of our labor. Mm-hmm. To get, I think we were inside, it was another one of them 1st and goal from about 9.5 yards, if I remember right, and for them to get it in the end zone was great because of some of our woes, last week in the red zone and the week before. And so grateful to be there. And then, the room, the meeting room at halftime was so much different.
Yeah.
Just because the things that we said to them weren't as much as correction and fussing as it was bragging and saying, let's do it again, and so that's a whole lot more fun.
Yeah.
And so I know they enjoyed it a lot more, and I enjoyed it a lot more, and the biggest thing that I was concerned about at halftime was we've been a halftime game, a team, where we played a half of a ball game in second half or first half, it looked like it was a different ball team.
Yeah.
And so, hallelujah. this time we were a four-quarter football team, and it was great.
And Wingate does come out and score the opening drive of the second half, but you respond in kind. Was that what you were looking for?
Yes. And no, we weren't looking for them to drive and score on us right off the bat, but for us to go right back down the field and answer, then things were stabilized again.
Andy Hibbett has done wondrous things all year. 2 touchdowns, finishes just 4 yards shy of 1,400 for the season. What about his senior season?
Unbelievable. What an accomplishment for a kid that deserves every bit of it. And of course, he'd be the first one to tell you that, he's had good offensive line in front of him the last 2 or 3 years. And, but this year they've worked very hard and have a lot of confidence in each other, Andy and his offensive line and Andy. And it was beautiful to watch that happen all year.
We break down the second half when we come back after this on the Ken Sparks Show. Back on the Ken Sparks Show as the Eagles rack up a 27-7 victory over the Wingate Bulldogs. I'm Adam Cavalier alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Ken Sparks. Ken, look at the second half, and defense again continues to shine through. Sean Rawson with an interception. Again, the theme, seniors making plays in their final game at Berktar Stadium.
Played out, didn't it?
It certainly did play out. What about Rawson's pick?
Well, it was great, and I was joking with him. In fact, his post game in the locker room, I was harassing him, about 1 for 3 wasn't bad, and so I said, if you'll promise me that the Lord will answer more than 1 for 3 out of your prayers, will you pray for us? And Sean's an unbelievable kid.
Yeah.
And, he's one that has been so consistent, and he's not the most talented guy, just like Kyler Fry we was talking about earlier, not the most talented people in the world. And the senior group wasn't overly talented, but I want to tell you, there were some of them that had heart, and when I go around asking people, how's your heart, I don't have to ask some of them because I know how their heart is. It's very obvious. And fact is, they need to ask me how my heart is, and so I'm so excited for the group of seniors. And, Sean and Kyler were great examples. Andy has worked hard. All of them, all 25 of them, and then every one of them got to play yesterday.
Yeah.
And we made it a point to make sure. And we got when we get together again one of these days, I hope those 25 and me, where we just get to sit around and talk about just memories from this ball game. It's going to be unbelievable, some of the things that happened to some of them.
Take a look at the second half highlights. Eagles pick up the win on Senior Day over Wingate 27-7.
2nd and 10. Bulldogs from the Eagle 48. Johnson in the gun, Lantigua to his left, 2 wide each direction, wide side to the left. Eagles rush 4. Johnson met in the backfield, and William Alderman knocks him back into Carson-Newman territory at the 41. Set man in motion, Janeway, the tight end to the right of the line. Thomas takes the snap, option right, pitches to Hibbett, has the first down and more. 20, 10, Hibbett, clear sailing, touchdown, Carson-Newman. Andy Hibbett rambles 23 yards on the pitch around the right side of the line for the score. And the Eagles push the lead back out 23-7, 5:22 left in the third quarter. 4 wide set, 2 each direction. Lantigua to the right of Johnson in the gun. Ball on the left hash. Johnson takes the shotgun snap, chest tight. Blitz comes from the weak side, throws over the middle of the field. It's intercepted by Sean Rawson. Rawson moving left across the 15, inside the 10, and he's cut down at the 9 by Lantigua at the knees in the boundary left side. A standing ovation for that.
Those are the second half highlights as the Eagles rack up a 27-7 victory over the Wingate Bulldogs on Senior Day. When we come back on the Ken Sparks Show, it's time to shine our Eagles spotlight on one Carson-Newman football player, and this week it shines on Goose Manning. That's after this. Back on the Ken Sparks Show, it's now time for our Eagle Spotlight. Michael Watring puts it on one Carson-Newman football player each and every week, and this week he shines it on backup quarterback Goose Manning.
Backup quarterback Goose Manning has missed parts of 2 seasons due to injuries. He said that it's been difficult to overcome those injuries because it's kept him from playing the sport that he loves. However, none of those setbacks has prevented the Chattanooga, Tennessee native from being a trailblazer around the Carson-Newman football complex.
I think it's real important for me personally to be a leader, because I've been here 4 years. I understand what it takes to be a Carson-Newman Eagle as far as the football standpoint is concerned. I've listened to Coach Sparks. And so I think not necessarily vocally, but kind of how I bring about myself on the field and stuff like that. I just think that my role is to be out there and be like the lead by example, by doing, kind of having a good attitude all the time and trying to really lead the younger guys in the right direction.
Manning is part of the player committee that is elected by his teammates as a leadership group for Carson-Newman football. The South Atlantic Conference's leading rusher, Andy Hibbett, said that he learned to savor his time in the limelight from his teammate.
Anytime like we come off the field or I come off the field, Goose is one of the first people to meet me. And say I mess up or something, he's always the first one to encourage me. So that I've always looked up to him as far as just an encourager. And the fact that he did get voted on player committee shows really what this team thinks about him. They consider him one of the leaders, and he is.
Manning said that coming to Carson-Newman has been a humbling experience. His perspective is that each player is serving the Lord and his teammates through their abilities.
You don't get to Carson-Newman without being good. You have to have some kind of talent. You did well in high school. That's how you get to be in the orange and blue. So as far as humility is concerned, like you have to really humble yourself to realize that like everybody had a good high school career. Everybody's done well in previous colleges. Like when you get here, you have to really earn what you get.
The quarterback has used his talents to find his way onto the field in punt formations and works to get on the kickoff team. Carson-Newman's leading tackler, Eric Kane, believes Goose embodies everything that Carson-Newman represents.
He'll go in and give Dre some breathers every now and then, but he'll do virtually anything on special teams. He's always asking Coach Rivez and Coach Waits what can he do more, and Coach Sparks says it all the time. When you need somebody, somebody like Goose Manning is always there just to do whatever it takes. And as a teammate, that's a player you want on your side.
Manning will graduate in May, but Coach Sparks asked the quarterback to come back for another season to instill his attitude into the younger players. A speech from another coach made the decision a no-brainer.
Coach Waits, he gave us kind of a speech the other day about just getting back to the basics of being a football player, like without all the big stadiums and the nice uniforms we've got here and all that kind of stuff. It's just, at some point you got to realize we play a game that not everybody gets to play. Like once you're done playing football, you can't go to the YMCA, strap on shoulder pads and a helmet and go at it with somebody. You only have a certain amount of time you can do this. And after college, a lot of this Saturday's when we play our last game on Saturday, it's a lot of time. It's going to be the last time a lot of people suit up and play football. You can play flag football and do all that kind of stuff, but ultimately you only have a certain amount of time to do what we do. And I don't want to get 20 years down the road and realize that, man, I wish I'd have played that last one. Even like I said, even if I don't get on the field a lot, it's you got a special brotherhood with the guys you play with, because not everybody can do what you do.
Manning has plenty of options to pursue in graduate school, but he understands that his fellowship with the team will ensure that another year in Mossy Creek is a memorable season. For the Ken Sparks Show, I'm Michael Wattrang.
Thank you very much, Michael Wattrang and Ken Sparks. Goose Manning, really the embodiment of what Carson-Newman football is about. Kid who spent 4 years behind the scenes, but great kid, and gets a few reps in the final moments of the senior day win.
Goose Manning would do anything he needed to do to help his program. Mm-hmm. And he's done it for 4 years. Yeah. You know what he's been the last 2 or 3 weeks, because we have had a quarterback that was very dangerous running the ball. He's been a scout team quarterback. And, and one time I hollered at him about, Goose, we need to set up something where the quarterbacks have got to see this. And he runs over and gets a dummy, and me and him sets up something to make it a drill that was realistic for the quarterbacks. And that kid, he's an unbelievable competitor. I told him, he's a backup holder for PAT field goal. I told him, I said, in the first year because we were down to one kicker, and I said, Goose, have you ever kicked a field goal? He said, no, but after today, I can tell you yes. And after practice, he's out there kicking his little fanny off, trying to get trying to be the backup kicker, and I mean, he's just an unbelievable kid, and I think I've got him talked into coming back for another year. And so you can build some tall buildings on guys like that. And so he's planning on coming back, and what a great way to make a good Thanksgiving thankfulness is to know that Big Goose is coming back.
Involved in one of the one of the plays that gave you a chuckle, we'll say.
It wasn't a chuckle for Coach Turner, I can tell you that much.
One of his linemen it looked like one of the linemen tried to take a handoff from him.
Oh, gracious. Goose comes to the sideline, and Coach Turner just, said, what's going on? And Goose just smiled in the ear. He said, I think Jordan was trying to take the handoff.
If you had,
and knowing Jordan, he might have been trying to take a handoff. There's no telling.
If you had to sum up the 2014 campaign, how do you do it?
Well, probably good ending. Mm-hmm. Good ending. Good conclusion of all the things that we've preached all year, and for the seniors, things that they've heard for 4 or 5 years. So hopefully we'll be believers as we press on into life, when we're going to have a strong faith to deal with a whole lot of things that's out there. And some of them have been through some already unbelievable stuff in their lives, but to know that they have had exposure on a silly football field for things that are a whole lot more critical that's coming on down the road is satisfying to me, and because that's our goal. Mm-hmm. Our goal is to win life, not to win football games, but to win life. And I hope that we've laid the foundation for a whole bunch of winners to win life. And so if we have, then hallelujah and thank you, Lord.
Ken, blast for the year. Thanks for the time as always.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Carson-Newman head football coach Ken Sparks. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier. This has been the final Ken Sparks Show of the year. Thanks for watching.